Hi everyone, I'm Zach and I like movies, and it's time we talked about Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. This is the long-awaited, long-hoped-for latest movie from the master, one of the greats, the god, Francis Ford Coppola. A movie that has been literally decades in the making. He's been trying to get this made better end of 40 years. He sold off his wine company to basically self-funded. Cost like 120 million or something dollars, all self-funded. So he's got final cut, got final say, and wow. Immediately from like just hearing the news coming out of this when it was being made, with like how it was still somehow went over budget and over lawn, which that's Coppola for you. and then the initial reactions came out of Cannes, and that got me really hyped because few people were saying this is like this long-awaited visual masterpiece from one of the masters, but most people were saying, yeah, I don't know, this is like kind of a disaster, kind of like a flaming train wreck. I can't believe this even exists. And most people were just saying, what the hell did I just watch? So and then you get the trailer and it's like, oh, okay. So it definitely was going to be something. So this is Megalopolis, a fable. Man, I don't know. I don't even know. I seriously doubt that even like a scant plot summary is even gonna like do justice to the experience of watching a Megalopolis. But for the synopsis, basically it's set in New Rome, and it's basically modern day New York City with a Rome coat of paint. So yes, sadly, Francis Ford Coppola does think about the Roman Empire a lot, and it's a city that's very grand and lively, but it's decaying and it's failing, and there are many people who are concerned about this. Most of whom most importantly of these are Caesar Catalina. This is Adam Driver, who is a brilliant visionary architect and artist, and he's won this Nobel Prize for inventing this thing called Megalon. This is the thing that he's going to use to build his utopia that everyone that will save civilization, basically. But it's a little funny because Megalon, that's the name of a kaiju that Godzilla fought. Also, it kind of can do basically anything from where you can make clothes out of it, you can make cities out of this, you can make you can even use it for medicine and stuff. But also it grants Caesar the ability to stop time. But him stopping time doesn't really matter in like a plot sense, because the plot is just I don't know, man. Catalina, he's like an influential and very important architect and artist, and he's trying. He's very steadfast, very passionate about his vision for building a utopia. But he's like butting heads with the mayor, played by Giancarlo Esposito, and his daughter Julia, who has who starts to have the hots for Adam Driver, because he's just the coolest, most swagged out architect ever. So there's a little bit of Fountainhead in this movie too, and he's also butting heads with his with like some of his family, like his uncle. Yeah, they say his uncle, but sometimes he's called their grandfather. It's played by John Voight, who owns all the banks. He's named like Cassius, and he's also has his cousin, played by Shia LaBeouf. Oh my God! And also there's Also there's Aubrey Plaza as this like just like mega horny news anchor lady named Wow Platinum, no relation to Star Platinum. Also there's Jason Swart. Also there's Laurence Fishburne as Adam Driver's like chauffeur and his personal assistant. Also the narrator who does like not only just like does the like Morpheus narration, but also like reads out the title cards that they're showing. There are a lot of title cards. Also, there's Jason Schwartzman in there sometimes, but that isn't really. But also less sometimes Dustin Hoffman as well. But I don't know what he was doing here. Like rocks fall and he died, I think. I don't know. And yeah, it's just kind of this. But like, that's not even getting into the visuals of this movie, where it's kind of beautiful at times, but also completely artificial and looks kind of flat and ugly. It's so much. This movie is just so much to take in. It really just. I don't even know if I loved it. I don't even know if it's like. If I could recommend it in like a traditional sense, because this movie is clearly not meant to be taken literally. It's not meant to be taken like at face. Don't take this movie at face value. It's literally calling itself a fable. You shouldn't take it at face value. But at the same time, like all of its ambitions and all of its ideas, they're so just everywhere. It's so scattered and so messy in a way that that I think could only come from like a great artist just throwing everything at the wall and just keeping everything no matter if it sticks or not because man, like it has like bold ambitions about ideas of like a dying empire and artistry and a genuine earnest effort from artists and from those with these big bold ideas to that will help lead us into a better future than we have now. And there's like it gets into stuff about like false false heroes of the people like people false idols appropriating like the politics of the needy, but like also like the like average everyday people like don't matter that much in this story, and it falls really flat, and there's so much like and like it feels like a brain melt. It feels like this weird kaleidoscopic haze of just so much ideas. Again, everything is being thrown at you. Everything that he's had. It's like Grandpa is like taking out his like big notebook and like telling you the stories about the greatest ideas he's had ever in his life. And he also goes on weird tangents about like half-remembered Roman history and how everyone thought he was the coolest guy ever, and all the ladies were like tripping themselves over to get to him, and by the time it's done, you just don't know what to do with the day. It's just your mind is just kind of stuck in it, and it's so. And I do want to give it the benefit of the doubt, really, because it's Francis Ford Coppola, because it's the highs of Coppola's career are not just some of the best movies of American cinema, they are some of the best movies that cinema has ever had. The Godfather Part 2, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now. Hell, throw in Bram Stoker's Dracula in there too. So I feel like the benefit of the doubt is more than owed, at least a little. But, and yet, there's just, it's so gargantuanly ambitious and egotistical, and and again, there is moments here that really do shine. There are moments of like real expressive beauty. Oftentimes it will like have, oftentimes it will like reach out to this like often Shakespearean tragedy and like this sort of like retro futurist sci-fi stuff. Uh, mostly it like shines in these like gorgeous like montage sequences of like these like they're like split screens and dissolves and all that's just like bleeding out and around around on the screen. I mean that like, and a lot of the same like gonzo like editing stuff that he was like doing with his Dracula movie. And often the artificiality is sort of part of the aesthetic, but also it's just so it's stylized, but like the style is also kind of hideous, kind of, because and again there's a real give and take with this movie. For everything good that I can point to, whether it be some of the performances, like Adam Driver is just so earnestly locked in to this role, and he really does make you believe in not just this, makes you want to believe in this character and his world and the world that and his like internal struggle and the world that he inhabits and wants to make better. But or even Aubrey Plaza, who's like just kind of going out there. She really finds a niche in this like weird comic tone that the movie is trying for. Or there are moments between Driver and the Julia character played by Nathalie Emmanuel that have real that feel cathartic and nice, but again some of the imagery here is quite beautiful. Like there's these cascading lights and these shadows coming across these buildings, and again a lot of these split screen dissolve montages are gorgeous. These are some of the best parts of the movie, but man, there's just so much baffling like decisions with the story that feels so loosely like held together, and the world building doesn't really make any sense, and even the aesthetic of like this New Rome stuff feels kind of like half-hearted, because I kept thinking of like what if it went committed more into that sort of like New York Roman Empire lean, or maybe it could have been something akin to like Julie Taymor's adaptation of Titus Andronicus with Anthony Hopkins. And some of these other performances are just so out there. Like Shia LaBeouf. Oh my God, he's so obnoxious. Every scene with him was just legitimately awful. Just legitimately awful to sit through. Jon Voight, man, he's still many years away from his time in the new Hollywood with like. And I actually just recently watched Midnight Cowboy again. Man, he's so great in that. What is he doing here? He's just kind of like it feels like he's just farting around. But that being said, he has a moment late in the film that was one of the hardest laughs I've ever had in a movie theater. My God, that was probably worth the price of admission. Yeah, and the story, and like again, the story is just, if the story had more grounding to it than just Adam Driver's performance and just Nathalie Emmanuel and sometimes Giancarlo Esposito too, if the story had like a better hold onto like this sort of New York crime family Shakespearean tragedy, not quite Godfather, but a little more camp, or then maybe the like weird maybe the broadness of the wild imagery probably wouldn't make it clash so much. But there's not much like, man, there's just not much holding this movie together. But at that same time, I can't say I was ever bored. I can't say that I regretted watching it, and I can't say that I wouldn't recommend it to people who do want to see something so wild and so unlike anything you'll ever get. This is this is one from the heart for Coppola, because it does feel weirdly earnest in all the mess that it is. There are concerns about like where the world is going and how he does feel that artists can lead the way, and if politicians and if people can just put their politics aside and like look to the future. But like in the story, the like idea of what Megalopolis is and what it even can be, or like what's destroying the world, is just nothing. It's just broad and loose and just sort of like, it's idealist, yeah, and I think having movies with a sense of idealism is good, and I would even argue essential nowadays, in the times we're living in. But man, it's just not enough like story to like, and not enough themes to like meet, really get good, juicy, meaty cinema that you might traditionally need for something like this. And yeah, it's just too big and too broad, but still it's so big and so broad that you can't look away from it. It is kind of like it is a train wreck in a way, because like the way that it just crashes sometimes, you're just like, wow, holy crap. But yeah, it's this like, it doesn't even feel like a review right now. It just feels like trying to get my thoughts together. I don't even know if I could rate this. I don't even think it. I think this is beyond a rating. Honestly, I feel like over time, this will go down as one of the essential 5 out of 5 stars. I fucking hated it kind of movie. You hated the experience of it, but my God, you were so grateful to watch it. You were so happy you got to see this. And I do feel grateful. Like, honestly, when this movie started and the American Zoetrope logo appeared on screen, I was just like sitting in reverent awe. Like, wow, I'm watching a new Francis Ford Coppola movie in theaters right now. Oh my God. But by the hour mark, I was just like in just complete and utter baffled disbelief at what I was seeing, and just so much of it, so much. And really by the end, I was just like, I felt like I was just like the world had faded away from me. Just like I didn't have words, I didn't have coherent thoughts, and it's just this wild phantasmagoria of just ideas and images, not even a way that I really love out of that kind of movie. And it's not like I can't really call this like a tone poem. I can't really call this like a vibes movie. It's just nothing else is like this. Nothing else like it. And I think that's worth it. I think that makes it worthwhile in its own right. And yeah, I think this does need to be seen. I do not think it's gonna make its money back. I do not. It's gonna bomb, assuredly. But I absolutely ask, beg, and compel you to watch this movie. You will not. You probably will regret it, but you won't get anything like it, man. Because man, if you're expecting something more familiar, more traditional, like if you are expecting a Godfather or The Conversation or even Apocalypse Now, no, this isn't that. It's something completely wild, completely just of itself and up its own ass, and kind of marvelous and disastrous. It's not it's as a disaster, it's not like a unmitigated disaster, but it's not a well mitigated disaster either. It's just, yeah, it's all over the place, and I kind of love it. I kind of want to. I'm contemplating seeing it again because, man, I gotta tell. I need people to see this. I need other people to experience what I am experiencing, and that is why you should watch Metropolis, so you could feel this kind of weird, amazed befuddlement. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be digesting this movie for years to come. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know if it'll be like a kind of so bad. If it's what its legacy will be, maybe it'll be that kind of. Again, like I said, 5 out of 5. I hated it, or maybe it's a Neil Breen type so bad it's good movie, or maybe it's like an auteurist backlash that becomes a cult hit that we like reevaluate in a couple of years. You know, like Showgirls, which by the way, Showgirls is good. Showgirls is great. Team Showgirls. But as of now, yeah, I'm treasuring it while we have it. I'm treasuring Francis while we still have him around. What a picture. No picture like it. And yeah, no rating. This is its own beast, and I can't say that I regret seeing it, and I hope you see it, and I hope you see more movies, and more movies like it. Well, actually, no, just more movies. There's no movies like Megalopolis, and that's the video. I'm Zach. I like movies. I will hopefully be watching more movies to come, because I have a lot just to get through here. And I hope you watch movies too. And I will see you all next time. And man, what a picture.